things in Islam, I've come to the realization that most people absolutely have no idea about how this system works.
Real talk. So like I said, they already declared you as human capital. That's another thing. You listed as human capital, as money. If you're a citizen of the United States, they got you listed as money. They don't give a damn how Christian you are, how Muslim you are, how whatever. The only name that's on United States books in the state records that they don't have no action over are Moors.
This is proof right here that I'm not the only one saying these things, that I'm not the only one in the mental concept of what nationality is. So right here, I posed a couple of questions to my mother, who has a mortgage and claims she knows what mortgage means and all of the above.
4-year college plus Real Estate Institute. School of Real Estate at NYU, industrial microbiologist, Bachelor of Science degree, certification in real estate and condominium management, HUD certified manager, property manager, Section 8, 236, and other subsidies.
Are you aware of what your birthright entails? Do you know anything
Not
about
totally.
your birthright?
Not totally.
You don't know what you know anything, you know what birthright is?
No.
Are you a Christian?
No, I'm spiritual.
Are you aware of what nationality is?
Yes.
Do you have one?
Yes.
Are you aware that your son has proclaimed his nationality?
Yes.
Have you proclaimed your nationality?
Not yet.
And you're waiting on what?
To study more. To learn more.
Okay, so now in 2012, 2013, you made a claim that you didn't sign any documentation, contracts, etc. in relationship to a mortgage that you have.
I have no memory of that. Documents I signed was in 2003 or 4 with Aegis Lending.
When's the last time you paid a mortgage?
January 2016.
Prior to that, there was no issues in terms of, in any other situations of quote-unquote foreclosure or arrearage since 2016, you're saying?
Yes, I've had problems before that, but I paid it.
Okay.
I didn't go to court. I merely,
You just paid someone.
I paid the money, yes.
Do you know what mortgage means?
It's a dead note, dead pledge.
Now, you attended a hearing on August 23rd, correct? 2017?
Yes.
Now, did you witness any crimes take place August 23rd, 2017?
Yes.
Have you made contact with the governor's office, comptroller, mayor, etc.?
No.
Haven't made anyone he's aware of
No, I haven't.
any crimes that took place August 23rd, 2017?
No, I haven't.
And why?
I just never did.
February 24th, your son was kidnapped by Anderson County Sheriff's Department. Did you write, call, or try to investigate why?
Yes.
Now we're going to work backwards from that last answer, which is obviously incorrect. A colleague of mine was in contact with her and informed her to call the FBI and let them know, because at this point, no one knew what the hell was going on during this kidnapping, February 24th, 2017. The very people who committed the kidnapping are members of the FBI, and including members of the Sheriff's Department. So that means somebody between those two agencies definitely knows each other, and they've been consistently attacking me since 2012, when I've put into the record the first allodial quiet claim title to the property back in 2012. Yeah, that's right, folks. This goes back that far and even further. Okay, so as of October the 3rd, I do believe is what date? Now you said that you haven't made any contracts, but you retained or somehow have some kind of relationship with some lawyer to have stopped, quote unquote, a foreclosure sale. Now you didn't inform the lawyer of anything in relationship to any of the things that's happened since 2015 up until now.
I have informed him of something. He said that's another case. Right now.
No. We're not talking about checks. We're talking about all of the documentation and communication that's been going back and forth between your son, who is national, and the entities who, quote unquote, make some kind of claim that they're foreclosing on your account. Did you make anyone aware of anything that's happened up until that point?
No.
Okay.
Tonight's talk is consciousness, creativity, and the brain. And if you have a golf ball-sized consciousness, when you read a book, you'll have a golf ball-size understanding. When you look out, a golf ball-size awareness. And when you wake up in the morning, a golf ball-size wakefulness. But if you could expand that consciousness, then you read the book, more understanding. You look out, more awareness. And when you wake up, more wakefulness. It's consciousness. And there's an ocean of pure, vibrant consciousness inside each one of us.
Our true consciousness does not exist in our brains or in our bodies. But this illusion of our individual bodies, along with the misinformation of our true origins, has manifested the idea that we all think independently from one another. Within this understanding, it would seem impossible to scientifically explain telepathy, clairvoyance, spiritual mediums, and other phenomena dealing with transferring information between sources without physical means of communication. But when you understand that there is a common spiritual bond between all things in the universe, and that we are all part of one divine intelligence, no phenomena is unexplainable. The blank matter within the most basic building blocks of perceivable existence is malleable and molded by intent. This means that consciousness shapes our reality. This seems difficult to accept for most, and it is quite understandable. In modern times, we are taught from an early age how to think rationally and tangibly. This is a very left-brain method of education, and it has more harmful effects than it's given credit for. The left brain deals with logic, details, facts, patterns, practicality, science, and math, as the right brain deals with feeling, intuition, symbols, images, risk-taking, philosophy, and religion. With a deliberate push for government-controlled educational curriculums, generation after generation of the youth are being taught to focus only on the facts, figures, and numbers. Repetition is used to train children subconsciously to accept what they're learning. Children aren't rewarded for questioning the validity of the information they receive. They are ridiculed. However, the children who blindly accept the information as true and merely regurgitate the information on command when it is time to take a test, those children go on to become the decision makers in our government, law, medicine, business, and every other occupation with power and prestige. The most detrimental effect of being pushed away from holistic thinking with the full brain into a strictly left brain thought is what is known as the suppression of the feminine. Every male and female have both feminine and masculine qualities. It has nothing to do with man or woman. These are represented by the left and right brain, yin and yang, black and white, light and dark, and most every other duality. Both are vital to our spiritual and physical health.
It is a fact that I love my mother very much, and I'm a purveyor of my ancient culture. Thus, things must be presented in their proper light. She has the right to remain silent, but it should be noted that silence can be assumed or taken as consent in law. I haven't been silent since I found out about my nationality. The time has come now that individuals like this who have blocked affidavits from the public record, and as you can see, I've also been receiving mail in my proper name. Also recently, in the past month, with the things that's been going on, I've received mail addressed to this entity.
And he also knows that North America is known as Al-Maghreb Al-Aqsa.
Of course, I know that. North America was known as Al-Maghreb Al-Aqsa, and it reported to Sultan of Morocco.
The Constitution is their sanction to do business at Morocco. There's that business flag of amity and commerce. Now you understand why you have that Moorish flag, and then you have the stars and stripes. It's a banner, it's not the national flag. This is the national flag. It's your history. You're standing on your own land, trying to go to Africa, and you're standing on Africa.
And there was a relation. This is why I needed to ask you, what's the relation between the first, colonials and the governors of Morocco? Because they communicated, because on paper it was part of Greater Morocco. That's known.
That's known.
How come you ain't getting this in school? Because they don't want you to know that you're standing on Morocco. That the land is Morocco, the occupational government is the United States. Distinguished from the land, it's a foreign religious corporation belonging to the Jesuits. You're under occupation. And you're referred to as the Great Masonic Secret.
The fez that the Shriners wear is the fez of the Moors. It's the fez of the Moors. It's the fez of the Moors.
Now it is a great Masonic secret that has long been revealed that it was George Washington who chopped down the cherry tree of the Moors, erasing them from the history books and removing their nationality, fez and turbans. It was even predicted that in a few hundred years many of them would not remember who they were or their connection to the land. It was Morocco who supported and gave rise to the independence of the United States of America as it has been recognized by President Obama.
The first nation to recognize my country was Morocco.
Morocco was the first nation in the world to recognize the United States of America 237 years ago. In December 1777. So I've come here to say thank you.
Morocco was the first nation to recognize American independence.
This treaty specifically deals with Moors. The question that may arise, how do we know that where the treaty says Moors, the so-called black people of the time is being referred to? The Moors were considered citizens or part of the we the people who ratified the Constitution. It says, quote, thus an act was passed in Massachusetts on the 6th of March, 1788, forbidding any Negro not a subject of the Empire of Morocco or a citizen of the United States from tarrying in the Commonwealth, unquote. For this would show that those who referred to as Negroes were actually Moors, and that they were on the same footing or status as citizens. Those who remembered that they were Moors used the Moroccan Treaty of 1787 to secure the rights on the same footing as the state citizens without otherwise being obligated members of their social equality. While those who were brainwashed into believing they were Negroes, descendants of Africans brought here by Europeans, were unprotected by the Moroccan Treaty, as well as the Articles of Confederation and the Constitution.
The Constitution is their obligation. That's not some instrument that, it's interesting if you all know something about it. And if you don't, it's not important. Why do you think politicians don't teach the Constitution to children in schools? Because that's the document that gives them the authority to do everything that they're doing. Without the Constitution, there is no government. Once you understand that, you understand where you need to be to protect your Moorish birthright. And the Moorish birthright is to protect the Constitution and to enforce the Constitution. The abuses that you've been getting is because that document has not been enforced. It has not been enforced because you ain't been in your proper person. Y'all been busy being colored people. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So concept of mind, get out of it. You're not Negro, black, and colored, and you got to be that, not that, officially. That's what nationalization process is for. That's why he did it. Do you understand? These have political ramifications. So it changes your political status in the society for the record. That's number one, because it's documented now. You see what I'm saying? So that gives you a standing at law across the world. Now, do you know what to do with that? That's the next issue. Do you know how to proceed with that? Those are the parts of the information that was suppressed by the subversives, COINTELPRO, etc., that was inverted into this movement with the FBI, CIA, etc., which is really the OSS, to subvert this movement. Having the people think it's a religious movement when actually it's a movement to bring people back into the constitutional fold of government and to enforce that constitution for the protection of all the peoples. But he knew that they could not be protected as Negro, black, and colored because that's a category of a caste system. It's not human. It is not human. Does not pertain to humanity. It is outside of the human family, therefore outside the law, therefore outlaws. Now we have the president, foreign diplomat. His name is Barack H. Obama.
This is the proof right here that the estate is what it is. You can abandon it if you want. I'm not abandoning my estate. I've issued a laudial title to the property. It's held in international ecclesiastic trust, and that's private and irrevocable. Thus, I don't have to explain anything further on it. I'm not confused about that. So, being that that's the case, I have a right to live my life however I want to live my life. I've been living my life. I haven't been hurting anybody. And I've made many sacrifices to get to this degree.
Barack H. Obama, knowing the problems that we have here at Morocco and knowing that our people's heads are messed up, and also knowing that the world is turning around, and knowing that for these generations to come, that some truths have to come out.
The first nation to recognize my country was Morocco.
But if you don't want to be a Moor or declare a nationality like that, declare something, man. Declare that you're a human, if anything. Declare that you're something that's living. Because if you don't, they got you listed as human capital on the NASDAQ. They got you listed as mortgage-backed securities on the NASDAQ. They got you listed as property improvements on the UCC1. They got you listed as preferred stock in the CCP, the private prison system, that works in conjunction with the record system, with the so-called music industry, to create a perpetual stream of brain-dead criminals to fill up this trough of wasted potential.
Which in actuality I think is metaphysical, is also bearing witness to the descendants of the pharaohs in North America, and they talk about the United States of America. People are all over the globe. They talk about a group of people that will rise up in the end. Even Steve Cook, they talked about the urban people and all. And that descendants, they're also just bearing witness to what we are dealing with at this particular time as far as the descendants of the that we are. This is also bearing witness, as well as just about anything, especially the Gnostic scripture that always talks about us being in the West.
The prophet said that we are part and parcel of this government. This don't mean the United States. This means us, our authority, the original government of the Great Seal.
Because they have no honor with the prophet or whatever like that. They're always going to come out and try to talk some BS to try to get, like what Noble Drew Ali was saying, the weak-minded people to shift. Even if it's a little bit. Just get the weak-minded people to shift off of this information and be on anything else. Doesn't even matter what it is. For their liberation, not for liberation, it's all irrelevant. Again, we use RV Big Publications as our online university. If you want to know about Moors, if you want to know about Moorish history, if you want to know about law, if you want to know about driver's license fraud, birth certificate fraud, marriage fraud, mortgage fraud, noble jewelry, whatever relative to Moors, rvbaypublications.com. Experimentations that have been done on our people to keep them in a dumb state of mind actually work. They don't want to admit it. People who have sound mind, they can look at the conditions of Negro, black, colored people and know these people are brainwashed. There's not even going to be a question about it to them.